MiX Telematics is a fleet management and vehicle tracking company with operations around the world. It was founded in 1996 by Stefan Joselowitz and spun off from Control Instruments in 2007. It has a market cap 1.6 billion rand, trades on a PE of 15 and has a dividend yield of 3.3%. Again in the vehicle tracking space.
Yeah, so they have Matrix vehicle tracking and they've got a new product called Beam E, which again is some kind of a device which you put into a truck or a vehicle and it picks up all sorts of things. And then your boss can sit in his office on his computer looking at why it is that you appear to be at the Summit Club in Hillbrow instead of delivering the beer to the FNB Stadium or whatever. Plus it picks up all sorts of things about the state of the vehicle so that you can work out when it is that the truck must go for a service and so on and so forth. So fabulous telemetry-based stuff. In the last few years, it has pulled off what looks to be quite a successful globalization strategy. So at first people were like, oh my soul, Stefan Joselowitz himself went to go and live in Houston or something. And they thought, well, here we go, what's this about? But now it seems that they're making reasonable money there and also in Europe and Africa and so on.
The fortunes of these vehicle tracking companies must be linked directly to the rental market as well, because this is, I would deploy this kind of technology if I had a rental fleet.
Not just rental, so logistic companies as well.
Logistic companies.
So anybody who's got lots of trucks and wants to send them around, I think
you've got to monitor what's going on out there.
You do. Even SAPS, I think they actually have Digicore as one of their providers.
Those should be interesting stats.
Should be interesting stats, yeah. I think where these guys have done well in relation to Digicore is that they have globalized, and what that's done is it's protected margins a bit better than what we've seen on Digicore. It's really how well they're able to continue that progression, which will determine the market's love for them going forward.
Share price, though, again, looking quite expensive. The name of the game?
Yeah, it's sort of on a historic basis ramped up to a price-to-earnings ratio of about 15. But to be fair to them, I mean, you could have picked them up at 40 cents a few years ago. So they have delivered the earnings, and they look as though they can continue to do that. And right now, the market loves these mid-cap type stocks that are moving into the sort of market cap price range of about $1 billion to $3 to $4 billion, because it feels like,
this is where the opportunity comes in.
Nobody's discovered this thing before. It can be my pet stock. The liquidity is not great. The management team owns lots of the shares. Those institutions that have got it are only too happy to hold it. So that is a problem. So I think over time, hopefully the liquidity will improve, because that normally happens once the share price goes up.
We've spoken about, obviously, MiX Telematics, which we are now, and Digicore. What about the likes of Altec, Netstar, and Tracker? Tracker being in the Remgro stable. Those direct competitors, how do they fare when compared?
Look, I think MiX is a lot more global in terms of their reach. Digicore as well. So they've, I guess, protected their competition by going outside.
And the others are local. That's what you're saying, global versus local.
A bit more local. What it is a threat to these guys more than it is to Remgro, I guess.
I think also Tracker and Altec Netstar are the market leaders, but they have fairly simple devices. Their strategy is to try and get them in as many vehicles as possible, and they work often with the insurance companies to do so.
Not intelligent devices.
Exactly. These guys are more in the sort of technology space, but I know that their intention is to sort of more, take the retail market as well. That's all about price, you know. If you've got a massive 16-wheeler, you're obviously prepared to spend more on putting traffic devices in it than if you've got a Corsa Comfort.
Hot or not MiX Telematics?
Not hot. More expensive than Digicore. I think from a quality in terms of balance sheet perspective, I've got similar questions. So from our perspective, not hot.
Paul, hot or not?
I will go with hot. And the one little extra tidbit to put on the table is that Imperial owns about 16% of this. And we know that Imperial's quite acquisitive in this space. So I know these oaks are very independent, but Imperial certainly looks like a potential partner for the future.